Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rohit and this is the seventh session of the GRC series. In this series, we'll talk about the controls life cycle. So in the last session, we talked about that how the control can be generated directly from the control objective whenever we are connecting the policy and entity type together. And today we'll mainly focus that how the control life cycle will be cascade. So let's start without wasting time. So if you follow my last video, this is the control objective, and in this control objective, it creates the seven control. These seven control are generated. Now let's open one of the control and see what are the life cycle of that, and then how we can discuss these controls detail. So if I open this control, very first thing is the control name, which is nothing but basically the control objective name. And then here the control number. Here we have a entity. Entity is nothing but we talk about here. Entity is, this is the entity type which generate the entity. Okay. So this entity and the control both are the pretty much in the same level. So entity will be there. Next, you see the control objective, which is nothing but the parent staff, which is the control objective. And now you see owning group and owner. So how this owning group and owner is derived, let's understand that. So owning group will be derived from the entity. So let's see here in this control, you have an entity called customer support. So if I open the customer support and in this, if I open the customer support here, you will be able to find out the owner name. So how this owner name is coming. So this owner name, this is the owner name, and then how this owner name is coming. Owner name is coming from the entity filter. Okay, so this entity generated by entity filter, right? So if I open that entity type and then filter, you will be able to find out that. So if you see here in this entity type, if I open this GRC entity type, we have entity filter. So this filter we have created, build your own filter. We have a tab called assignment. In this assignment, if you see here, we set the department head. So whoever will be department head of this department table, they will be have that entity owner. So this is the entity owner. That's how the entity owner is cascade. So this is the department, and this department has this user. So this way this owner cascaded from the department to the entity, and from the entity to control. Okay, so this owner have a one major role. So whenever this is in a draft state right now, whenever it will be moved to the attestation stage, there will be one survey will be sent to this owner, and owner have to be respond, and then based on that it will be generated. Okay, we'll see that. So next is that status, and the state is draft. Exempt is options is available. So if you want to put some exemption, you can put that. Enforce option is there. Category type classification, those everything is coming from this our entity. Now we have a frequency. So frequency means that you can put that daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, semi annual or annual. What does it mean by annual? So let what that is my frequency. Basically frequency means once you move to this monitor state, on the same day if you put the annual, it means that after 1 year this control will be automatically moved to the draft state, and it needs to be again revised. Because see sometime what happens that that after day to day that policy get changes. In that case we need to be review that policy again and move back to the monitor state. So you can eventually daily monitor that, weekly, monthly, or semi annually. So based on the frequency, every time it will be moved to the draft state, and then you have to go through this complete process, and you need to be moved to the monitor state. In case the policy is retired, you can move to the retired state. So this is the frequency is the important part, and then attestation is the important part. So this attestation will be whenever we'll move to that attest state, it will be generated a survey, and then survey needs to be responded by this user. Okay, and we have a activity journal field where you can put the comments or everything. So let's move that to the attest state. So once I move to the attest state, it will be generate a survey. So once this is moved to the attested state, this attestation section will be read only. What I have to do, I have to take this user and impersonate that user and see any attestation is generated for them. So let's impersonate that user here, and then if I type that attestation here, and you can see this is under the policy and compliance, you have a options called my attestations. Once you open that, it's showing that attestation number 1006, and this is the matrix type of this one, and control objective name also showing. So let's open this attestation, and what we have to do, I have to take that assessment. Okay, based on this assessment, it can be generate a issue, or it cannot be. Okay, so let's take a assessment here. In this assessment, you will ask the three question. This basically you need to attach some document and you need to be explain that, because this is coming from this attestation, nothing but it's a survey. We can create our own attestation, we'll do that later, but for the time being, I'll select that is this control is implemented. If I select yes, and then if I attach the evidence, this control will be moved to the review state. Okay, so let's see. So I'll attach one evidence here. So here I'll select a file and attach here. So once I choose the file, it will be automatically attached to this attachment here, and here I will select OK, and you can see you have completed the attestation. So the attestation is completed. Now end the process. I'll end the process, and you can see the status is right now is compliant and it is in the review state. So let's refresh that. The status will be in review state and then it will be compliant. Okay, and once it is compliant, you can move to this state to the monitor. So once we move to the monitor, it will be the state will be monitored. In this monitor state, basically we'll monitor that this control is working perfectly or not by indicator template or indicator. We'll check that the properly it is getting monitored or not. Okay, so I'll show you one more things that what will be happens if you put the negative survey. So let's open one more control here. I'll open that and simply do the same thing. In the list layout, you can see the status, and this is in the monitor state. I'll pick this one and then do that negative scenario. Now you can see it is in review state, but the status is non-compliant, and once the status is non-compliant, it will be generate a issue. This issue will be generated and assigned to this particular owner, whoever is the owner. For them, the issue will be generated and they have to be work on that issue and complete that. Okay, so let's say they remediate that everything, whatever is the issue type. You can see that issue source is the control attestation fill. So what we'll do, I'll simply select the response, analyze here first. This will go to the issue, will be go to the analyze state. Okay, so here issue manager and then issue group needs to be selected. So I'll select the issue group and issue manager. After that, I'll select due date here. Here you have a options called remediate or accept. So once you select remediate and you click here, save, and finally you mark at close complete. So this issue will be closed. And now if I go back to our control here, this control right now is the compliant. So in case if you put the negative response on that attestation, it will generate an issue, and this issue have the separate flow, and once that flow will be completed, it will be completed. The status will be compliant. After you make this compliant, you can move to the monitor state. Once that is monitored, we can create the indicator, and through the indicator we can monitor that actually what is happening in our system. So going back to our flow, let's increase this flow. So what I'll do, I'll quickly do a diagramming here. So understand the diagram, final diagram. So this is the control which is created in the draft state, and this is the entity which was created, and their owner are the same. So owner will be the same. Now from the control, you will move to the attestation state, and from the attestation there will be some response. Either negative response you can provide it, or the positive response you provide it. So if you are providing the positive response, it will be in the compliant. Control will be compliant, and then control will be moved to the control will be in the review state. Okay, actually control will be in monitor state after that. So it will be compliant, and then from there, from the review state, it will move to the review monitor state. Okay, now if you put the negative scenario, it will be generate the issue, you remediate the issue, and then from the review state you move to the compliant to the monitor state. So this way we can work with the control, and from the control we can create the indicator, and then indicator we can follow that the actual policy or the control that we have created, our resource are following or not. For example, if we created the control for dress code, so we'll through the monitor will through the indicator we'll check that they are wearing the proper dress code or not by the indicator. In the next video we'll talk about the indicator. So that's it for today. If you like my video, please like, share, subscribe, and then hit on the bell icon to get this kind of update. Thank you very much. Have a great day.